Hey guys, it's me, Made Up Jen, and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. So right now you guys are about to get ready with me to go to work. It is currently 3:18 and I go in today. I have a late shift at 5 in the afternoon. It's quick, 4 hours. I do have a full shift tomorrow, so that's also why it's a shorter one today. But yeah, let's go ahead and get ready. As you guys can see, I do have my skincare ready, and if you hear that little, it is my fan. It is hot in the room. If you guys saw my last video, I did mention that the reason why I haven't really been filming is just because it's so hot in here. According to the thermometer on my fan in the room, it is 81 degrees. So it is pretty hot in here to be receiving no air. And yes, I do have a fan going, but the fan doesn't really push as hard as like my other fan that's in the living room. But my kids are in the living room, they deserve the fan, so I left the fan with them. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and prime my face. You guys already know where I'm going with it. I have yet to change my priming routine. It's not that I don't want to change it, it's just that I haven't found anything that quite compares to it. But we're gonna go ahead and start off with this. This is the NYX the face glue gripping primer. I use this all the time. It has become a cult favorite for me, and it's crazy because at work, when this first got released, we had an event at my store and we had the people from NYX show up, and they did like this whole roulette thing. And we could have done the roulette, like they actually let us do the roulette so that we can win free stuff. They were giving free stuff, like they had a humongous locker, and they were when you spun, you got a number, and the number was the locker, and they had a bunch of gifts in there. And one of the items was the face glue, the spray, and the primer. I haven't heard really like good things about the spray but I have obviously heard good things about the primer, and it took me a whole year pretty much for me to bother to even try it out. But I'm trying it out and now I'm in love with it, and I just really like it. It's unlike any other gripping primer that I've used before. A lot of the gripping primers tend to really leave you greasy, kind of like this one. I do have a really big glow, but it just feels heavy. Like I feel like I have a weird layer on top of my skin, and I don't like that. So and yes, it does stick. You guys see that? We stick. And then my next thing is going to be from Milani. This is the Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Smoothing Primer. You guys already know this is for sure. This, since it's come out, I have been using it nonstop. I bought it when it first came out. It actually sold out at work, and we didn't have a restock on it for like about a month if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I have been using this since it came out. I have nonstop been using it, and I fell in love with it because a lot of mattifying primers or blurring, specifically blurring primers, are all like mattifying, and I usually don't have a problem with that because I am combo oily, and you know, it's nice to have some type of coverage like mattifying where you usually get oily. But as you get older, matte just like accentuates everything, and I don't want to look older than I am. If I'm being quite honest. While this is settling and absorbing into the skin and settling and doing its thing, I'm actually gonna start with my brows. So I haven't done this in a while, but I did this yesterday. I went to Disney and I literally did no makeup. I literally just did a little bit of my brows just so they can seem a little bit fuller, because I do have like obviously very 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 thick brows, but they are sparse. So I went in with this. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Pro Pencil in Base 2. A lot of people don't really talk about this, but I decided to give this a try. I'm just gonna go in and line them up. very lightly, I'm just going in with a line. So I'm pretty much giving myself the shape. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember seeing this years ago from Jenny69 when she used to do makeup tutorials and stuff, like a long time ago. I remember her doing this method where she used to go in with concealer before she did her brows, and I never actually tried it until now. But I'm not saying she was the first one obviously to do it. I don't know who was the first person to do this, but I just go in and just fill in where obviously there's gonna be no brow product right there. I'm pretty much just lining up the brows so I know where to fill. And usually I would not do this process because I usually save my brows until the end. But lately, actually not lately, since yesterday. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, since yesterday I decided to start doing this method itself just to see what would happen, because I did buy this. I always do Anastasia at work, and I always see this base, and there's never like a full stock of this. There's only like one of like base 1, and then base 2 will be gone, and then randomly we'll get one in stock like 2 weeks later. And I'm just thinking to myself, it's at the bottom of her products, and I'm thinking, is she gonna get rid of this soon? I'm like, let me try this out, because this would not have been there. There's a double one that has this and a highlighter, but I decided to just go with the base because I don't like to highlight my brow with cream. I tend to go in with a pencil, with powder. I'm just gonna go in with some random like angled brush, and I'm just gonna go in here and I'm gonna blend this out. And the reason why I go in just with any like liner, angled liner brush, is because it does remove the product, but it blends it out where it gives me a little bit of a more defined look on the brows in case I decide not to put anything on them. I was trying to do this with the NYX Pro Stick pencils that they have, but every time I would try to do this, they were not creamy and they would like peel on me, and I used to hate that so much. But you guys see that like my brow just looks much more defined right here, even with no product whatsoever on my brows, like actual brow products. And this is usually what you would do to clean up your brows after you've done the brows, but I'm just doing it first. And then I'm gonna go in with the Morphe, what is this? The Morphe Nano Brow Pencil in the color Cold Brew. I just go in wherever I see those little, right here, I have a little bit of like no hair here, and I just fill in slightly. And the pencil is so thin that it won't be heavy, but I'm also not pressing. That's the one good thing about this pencil. You don't have to press very hard to get product or pigment, because I have like no hairs right here. And that's literally it. Like, I know it looks almost the same, but it just looks much more defined. And then you can always go back in with the little pencil if you mess up, with your liner brush, and just go back in case you might have messed up somewhere, just to clean it up. And then this one is my Trouble Brow. As you guys can see, I have like no hair right here whatsoever. So I'm just gonna fill this in, and I'm just gonna try to mimic brow. For this one, I do go a little bit more heavier in the front, just because I don't have as much hair on this brow than I do like in this one. You guys see the difference? I have a lot of hair here. I don't have a lot here. So I gotta work this a little bit more in the front. This obviously is not for everybody. This is just for me because I do have thicker brows, and I don't need a lot of brow product in my eyebrows. I just need them a little bit more defined. And the top, I'm not going to worry about that until we get to the end. I'm just going to go straight in with foundation. So I'm actually going to mix two. I actually bought this from Versed. This is available at only certain Ultas, and I believe it's available online at Target and at some Targets. But this is the Versed Skin Solution Multi Serum Skin Tint SPF 40, and I did get it in the color 60. I swatched it in the store and I could swear it was my color, but once I actually applied it on my skin, it's too light. I am tan, so maybe that's why, but I feel like I might need to go up because I actually do like this skin tint itself. Not saying that I don't like my e.l.f. Halo Glow, because you guys know I really love this one, but I wanted to try this one out, but it was too light. And then I was like, you know what, I haven't used this foundation and it's been in its box for 3 months at this point and I haven't touched it, and I'm talking about this one, the Anastasia Impeccable foundation. This is in the color 3N, and it is slightly a little bit too dark for me. So what I do is I'm gonna go ahead and just go in with one pump, and then one pump of this, and then I'm just gonna kind of like mix and see like how much more I might need. Sometimes I go in with a little bit more of this, and then a little bit more of this, like one drop, and I'm just like right here all over the place. And you guys see that dripping? That's actually the Versed one. And I'm just gonna go in with just any actual like foundation brush that's just like a painter type of looking brush. And I have lint. Oh, I had a pelo. One of Milo's hairs made its way. And I'm just gonna go in here and I'm gonna just mix it. And I'm pretty much just dipping the brush with the product. And you guys see the color. It does look slightly a little light, so I might need to go in a little bit more, probably with the Anastasia, but let's try it out. Yeah, let's go. You guys see that? We're pretty much matched. Matched. And now I gotta go back in again with another pump, and then another pump of this. Ooh. So the colors are not like so far off, it's just that because the skin tint is slightly a little bit too light, and it's 60. I believe it's olive. Yeah, I believe it's an olive tone, and then the 3N is a neutral. So we just go in, look at that. You can see right there, there is a little bit more olive. But only on the viewfinder se mira así, because I kid you guys not, in real life, it doesn't look that green. Even though on the viewfinder, it's looking really green. I don't know if maybe my lights are a little bit too bright, or I don't have enough, oh, there we go. Warmth, maybe? I didn't turn on my last light. But on the viewfinder, I don't know why, it just looks so green. I can see it, but in real life, it does not look like that. I kid you guys not, it looks more warm. I swear to you it does. I just don't know why on the camera it looks that way. But I'm gonna go in with my Anisa Beauty Pinnacle foundation brush. And by the way, guys, I actually ordered the face brush set from Anisa Beauty, right? And they sent me an extra blush brush, and they didn't send me the what is it called, it's like a tapered, I think it's the tapered like highlighting brush. They didn't send me that, and I actually emailed them and told them, hey, you know, you guys didn't send me this, and I would really like my brush, because yeah, you guys gave me an extra one, which is cool, you know. I appreciate you accidentally sent me the wrong one, but that was your accident for sending me that one. But I kind of want the highlight brush, and it's been over a month. Actually, it's been well off over a month, and they have not responded to me. They did not replace the brush. It'd be nice to get a little like, hey, by the way, we're sorry, we sent you this extra brush, we'll get right on it. Nothing, absolutely nothing. But it's fine, you know. I guess I have an extra blush brush which I haven't even touched, to be honest. But I don't know why on the camera it looks more green, but in real life it is my skin tone. Like, I'll show you guys right there. There you go. You see that? I don't know, like when I pull back it looks different. But yeah, this blends out so nicely together because you have a skin tint that's a little bit more light coverage and more of a liquid, and then you have the Anastasia, which is more of, it's a I believe it's a semi matte or a Lumi matte. It's like a Lumi matte. It's kind of like replicating the Maybelline, I forgot what it's called, but it's the one with the purple cap. I've never used it because Maybelline is not cruelty free, so I haven't actually used this concealer in a while, and I remember using this all the time, and I feel like it is time for me to use it. It might be a little bit too light for me, but I'm gonna use it anyway. But I'm talking about the Fenty Beauty Wear Even concealer, hydrating concealer in the color 260N. And the one thing I really like about this is obviously that it is a hydrating type of concealer, and as you guys can see, it's slightly a little bit light, but it's okay. I'm gonna go in with my Anisa Beauty Angle Concealer brush, and I'm actually just gonna start blending this into the eye just a little bit, just so you guys can see, like, look at that, we already covered my darkness. And hydrating is your best friend. Like, a hydrating concealer is your best friend, especially if you are like older. I am 36 already. I am closer to 40 than I am to 30 now at this point in my life. And matte just accentuates the crap out of my under eyes, like my fine lines in every aspect, including foundation. So when I use like a semi-matte or a Lumi matte type of foundation, I really like it just because it's mattifying, but it looks more natural where it's not drying. The Too Faced, the matte foundation they used to have, whoa, that one was super matte, which is perfectly fine for the younger generation because they're all about the matte. Trust me, I see it at work all the time. But for us, or for some older women, that's not gonna cut it. You just have to find something that's gonna work better with your skin. And as you get older, you get more fine lines under the eyes, and the matte ones just don't do it. Like Tarte Shade Tape, I used to be able to use that like crazy when I was 23, 25. Ask me if I touch that now. I won't even touch the creamy one because it's too creamy. Like, they need to reformulate that because I don't know. Alright, let's move on because I gotta get going. I always say that, huh? I gotta get going, and then I take my sweet ass time to like finish every freaking time. So now I'm gonna bronze up my face a little bit. Let's give our face a little bit of a definition. I'm gonna go in with the About Face Beach Freak bronzer, and this is in the color Coney Island. And I really like this packaging because this does not pop off. So if you take this traveling, you won't find this unsealed because you have to twist it in order to open it. This is a little bit more expensive. This is like $20. I think it's $20 and it's expensive, but this bronzer, tell me if you will go straight in with a stick. A lot of people will not go in straight with a stick. They will literally go in with a brush into the stick and then blend it out, but not me. I really like this. I'm gonna bronze my nose a little bit. And then to blend this out, I'm actually going to use this brush from e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Stain and Tint Blending Brush. This is supposed to like mimic like the BK Beauty 109. And I can tell you it is shaped like the BK Beauty 109. But this one is a little bit more dense. The 109 from BK Beauty is a little bit more softer and it does blend right. But this one, I don't know what it is about how this e.l.f. one just feels, where it just feels like when I'm blending, it's really blending out my product, as you guys see. And I think this is like $9, which is way cheaper than the BK Beauty 109 one. I think the BK 109 one is like $32. If you can find this one, go ahead. And I think they restocked 10 million of these because they did sell out when the lip and cheek stain came out, which by the way I tried out, not a fan. But for $9 you cannot go wrong. And then for blush, what am I gonna use for blush? I'm gonna go ahead and go in with another About Face product. This is their Blush Rush cheek, and the color is, what is it called? In the Dust. This, you guys have, if you've seen any of my other makeup videos, you guys know I've used this already. I have no problem using this. About Face is technically considered drugstore, but they are a little bit more higher end drugstore. Like, you know how Maybelline has like the skin blush, I mean the skin tint, and that's like $20, and L'Oreal also has a skin tint that's like $20. So they're all up there, you know. Drugstore is slowly starting to go up in price. It's not as inexpensive as it used to be. It's really hard to find a whole face routine for $50, which you can. Most of it would be e.l.f. to be honest with you guys. e.l.f. is the most like inexpensive makeup brand where you can probably get away with doing a full face. Are all the products going to be good for your face though? I don't know, because yes, they do have a lot of product and they do have obviously a lot for everybody, but when you get into like their CC creams, their skin tint, that is more expensive. I think Essence is probably going to be your best bet, but again, Essence has a lot of malfunctioning with like packaging. I really liked their 3-color powder and I loved it. It was really good. It really blended into my under eyes where they didn't crease. But I used it as a second type of powder over my original powder, but the packaging just sucked. I hated the packaging. It spilled everywhere, and it's because of that I actually returned it. I was just like, I cannot. I know it's inexpensive. They do have that skin tint foundation. I think it's a foundation stick, not a skin tint stick. And that's like $6, which is unheard of for makeup right now because for foundations everything is just so expensive. And in case you guys don't know, I am using the Nisa Beauty Angled Cream brush, and I just went ahead and just use this all over so you guys can see. The one thing I really like about Anisa Beauty brushes is that they're so fluffy, but you can use them either slanted or the long way, and they will just give you the right amount. Like if you have a more smaller cheek portion, you can always just go right here and be more precise. But if you want to blend out a little bit more out up here, you can always go to the side, and that goes the same for the concealer as well. And then I'm actually gonna go in with one little touch of the Hourglass Vanish concealer in the color 6. And I'm literally just gonna go in right here, just a little touch, and then a little bit right here. And I'm just doing this just to highlight a little bit more, to give my face more definition than it already has. Obviously there is some type of definition on my face. And then I'm gonna grab this is an actual eyeshadow brush, you guys see it, but because of the angle I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna grab this, and I'm gonna grab my, where's that, my Milani Conceal and Perfect blur out powder in the color Translucent. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and go in with my brush right here, and I'm just gonna go in there, and I'm actually gonna use this to set under the eyes, literally just under the eyes. This is just a little bit more precise to go under the eyes because I crease very, very, very fast. I'm gonna go back in with the same concealer brush, but this time I'm actually gonna slant it and go specifically just under here. And again, I'm just doing this just to brighten a little bit under the eyes. Not saying that the Rihanna, the Fenty Beauty, did not brighten, but I just needed a little bit more coverage. And I did not take my allergy medicine. Oh my god, I just thought about that. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because my eyes are getting watery. And I am going to go one by one for this one because I don't want to mess up my eyes right now because they are dry. I can feel it because of the air. Let me just push. I'm actually going to push the air to my chest because my eyes are getting watery. And I do not want to ruin my makeup when I am so close to being done. Gonna go in and pat, not harsh, just lightly tap. And yes, I am making this face. And if you're wondering why I made that face, is because it opens up my eye a little bit more so I can really get into the fine lines. So what this does is it's really placing powder into, like literally in my fine lines, so that I don't crease as much. And I'm just gonna use this flat angled face brush, powder brush. Ooh, I just realized what I was about to do. I was about to apply into this little bit of concealer I left on the top of my forehead and my chin. Lord have mercy. Thank God I remembered. Alright. Again, we are setting the face. And this powder, even though it does say translucent, it is more of a beige tone. So if you don't want your foundation to change in tone, because sometimes a certain color, you know, color theory can change the tone of your foundation just slightly, a little bit. Like if you're more on the cool side and you go in with beige, it might turn it slightly a little bit more yellow. And I do go under the eyes just to really press in whatever I put there. And here we go again. You guys see that? So like the tone doesn't look the way it was on the viewfinder. I promise it did not look like that. It didn't. But I gotta get going. So I'm gonna go in with, where is it? With this from RMS. This is the RMS Beauty Hydra Redimension Hydra Bronzer, and I got it in the color Tan Lines. And this is like a cream to powder formula. And I am gonna use my Dibs brush. This Dibs brush is meant to work with cream and powder, so I go in like with this and I just pat on where I want some more of the dimension. And just FYI, it's not gonna be like a super, like, it's very, I don't know if you guys can see it already, it kind of already slightly tanned me, but it's not gonna be like a noticeable thing, so don't overdo it. Like right now I can go in like this and be like, you know, it doesn't look like I have much, but if you see the angle right here, I do like look bronzed, and then you see this and there's nothing there. This powder can be very deceiving. You can probably go in and think, I don't have any bronzer, like I don't really see it, but it is there. I promise you it is there. It's the type of bronzer that is like, I don't know how to explain it. It's unlike any other bronzer that I've used, to be honest, but not in a bad way. It's not a bad bronzer. I did have a hard time with the colors. I didn't know what color to pick. Some of them were a little bit too red and the other ones were in between, and I just decided, let me go in with this. So, but the only problem I have with this bronzer is there aren't very deeper colors. I don't know if on their actual website they have darker colors, but on Ulta's website they only had 4. And this is the second to last color, and the next color down is like a redder tone, so beware. I'm gonna go in with this pure blush. This is in the color Pretty in Peach. It's supposed to be a matte blush. I do have the old packaging, but this blush, I got it after seeing Glam Beauty Guru. I don't know if, oh no, she changed her name, Tati. It's now Tati. I used to follow Tati and I used to watch her videos a lot. I watched it for many years, and then after a while I kind of just stopped. It had nothing to do with like the controversy that happened or nothing of that sort that, you know, every influencer at that time went through. I just stopped. You know, sometimes you kind of like, you become uninterested, and then I tried to follow her again, and then I was just like, she's YouTube but she's more TikTok, and I have a TikTok, but I don't really go on TikTok. I don't even have anything on TikTok, to be honest. I just, whenever someone sends me something, that's the only time I go on TikTok. That's honestly what I have it for. But you guys see that blush? She recommended this blush, and I went to Ulta. They have it at some Ultas. They don't have it at all Ultas. And I fell in love with this. It was so pretty, as you guys can see. But I am going to blend in the powders on my face. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this from Dibs. This is their Love Beam setting spray. I've talked about this before. I really like this. And also, why is the middle of my so glowy? Did I not put powder there? I don't think I put powder there. I talked about this on one of my last videos, but I use it now. I usually use it to set, but I actually am using 2 now. I use this one to blend in all the powders because it does give that blurring effect. And it also blends really nicely into the skin, which is something that I really also like. And while that is setting, I'm just gonna go in with the eyes, but I'm gonna go ahead and use this Urban Decay Naked Eyeshadow Stick in the color Top Off. I actually have not used this on its own. I used the Jane Iredale stick the last time, and I really like it. But I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this all over the eye. And let's see how it works, because you guys see my eyelids are very glossy. Oh, this is, I used the wrong one. Oh, damn it. I was supposed to use, I thought this one was a cream color one. Was I wrong? Because this is obviously a shimmer. Damn it. Oh, I wasn't trying to go so crazy with my eyeshadow today. But whatever. I'm gonna go in with just this old BH brush that I have, and I'm just gonna blend this out into the whole eye because I have to. Well, I don't have to. So you guys can see this what it looks like on its own. But it's just gonna look kind of weird if I don't, right? And I'm just gonna grab really quick a fluffy brush. Let me grab this one. And I'm gonna go in with my One Size Made for Bronze and Sculpt Trio. Oh my god, it's itching. I'm gonna grab the lightest color that's in here, and I'm just gonna use this on my crease. Just to give my eyes a little bit more of a definition, because I did just put that shadow. And then I'm gonna grab some more, and I'm gonna pinch my brush, and I'm just gonna go under the eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes. We're moving on to mascara, guys. And then my brows, because I did do that step beforehand, I don't have to touch them unless I really want to fill in like the corner, which I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't care much about right now. I'm gonna go in with the Dibs, you know, what is this called? I keep forgetting every time I use this. Double Standard Primer and Mascara Duo. I always forget what it's called every time I'm about to use it. And I'm just gonna go in with the brown. And then I'm going to go in with the other eye. I'm actually going to wait for the brown to kind of dry a little bit before I go in with the black. And the reason why I'm going in specifically right now with just one eye, one by one on the brown, and then going to go back in with the black after, is because when I go in with both at the same time, the eyelash gets really heavy because there's so much product on it. So I figured I would let it dry a little bit before I go in with the black. Or we're gonna curl. We're gonna try something new today, because why not? Now I'm gonna go in with the black. So you guys saw I did curl. And then this is pretty much dry, so now I'm gonna go in and curl this one last time. And I know there's gonna be some people like, why are you curling your lashes that many times? You're gonna rip them. Guys, I have the flattest lashes of life, and usually waterproof mascara used to do it for me, but now it doesn't even do that. So I have to just keep curling them. And trust me, I've tried the heated ones. They burn me every time, even if I just leave it for like 5 seconds. And then the worst part is my lash doesn't even get curled. I sacrifice for nothing. And then for the bottom lashes, I'm gonna go in with the Essence Lash Without Limits Waterproof Extreme Lengthening and Volume Mascara. I don't know why I was stuttering on the volume. I literally just use this on the bottom of my lashes. My camera cut me off because it overheated, but I did apply the mascara, and I'm gonna go in with lip liner. This is the Nabla Close Up Lip Shaper. This is in the shade, wait, what shade is this? nude nude number 5. Ooh, I didn't want it to drop because I just sharpened it, but let's go ahead because my camera's gonna die in a minute again. I hate when it does that right here. It went a little bit overboard. And then I'm just gonna use the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balm in the color Vanilla Toffee, just to top off the lips. And I am done. As you guys can see, I'm ready to go to work. My last and final step, because I am a little bit glossy, I'm actually gonna go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Impeccable Setting Spray, and I'm just going to seal it all in. Usually I don't like to use this on days where I'm not gonna be wearing my makeup for so long. I'm only gonna be wearing my makeup, give or take, maybe 6 hours today, because I'm gonna get home after, I'm gonna say I'm gonna get home like close to 10. And actually no, I forgot I have to go to Walmart after. But I don't like to use that one just because I like to wear that one when I know I have to wear my makeup all day. But I do like to mix both the Dibs and the Anastasia, and when I wear both of those, it's a blend of both like dewy and matte, but it lasts all day. Like, I really do like that setting spray from Anastasia, and I'm just mad that I didn't get it when it came out and I waited this long. But that is gonna be it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me get ready. Like always, I took way long, but this is the look. I hope it transitions right on camera. But yeah, this is gonna be it for me, guys. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, please make sure to like the video if you haven't already, and if you haven't, please make sure to subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.